Hey guys, this is the Rock Man. We're at the House of Blues tonight. I'm with my buddy, the lead singer of Kill Ritual. We're going to be interviewing him tonight, David Reed Watson. We're going to talk about the new album, Sins. Without further ado, let's get into it. David, thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
So, this album, man.
Yes.
Let's talk about that. How did that happen?
Well, after the last one, after Karma Machine, Steven and I started writing this album right away, and he had a concept. He wanted to have a whole concept of humanity and what all of our issues are: alcoholism, drugs, sex, all of man's downfalls. And he goes, "I want to call it All Men Shall Fall," and you run with it from there. So I started writing it immediately, and it just poured right out. It was really easy to write material like that because there's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now.
Oh, absolutely. Hence the title of Sins.
Well, Sins is one of the songs.
Right, I know.
Yeah. That whole song, that song just came out. We had a guy in Europe do the video, and it just got okayed by the label and everything, so we just released it, and it's very conceptual. A lot of it was based off of Standing Rock because I carry some Native American blood in me, and I was watching the whole Standing Rock thing going on, and I didn't like what the oil companies were doing with the Native Americans and kind of running them out of their own territory again. So again, yeah. And so that's where that whole song came from. Greed. That's one of the sins in this story.
Yeah, well, there's 7 deadly sins, if I remember correctly.
There are.
So, what can we expect from the rest of the album? More of the same?
Very much so. There's another song we have out called Megalomaniac that we're playing live right now, and the audience seems to love it. I won't get into politics because everyone has their own opinion, but the concept we're using was Julius Caesar for the video, who was, a very controlling, dominating force during his time, hence a megalomaniac. So we just went with that theme. And we've seen many people like that throughout our history.
Yeah. You can go all the way back to the caveman days. There was always somebody that was running the show or thought they were.
Exactly.
Quick question. This tour you're on now you just starting out on this,
Yep.
Pretty big tour.
Yeah, Iced Earth is a huge band. We're really fortunate to have it, and also, with Sanctuary, it actually became an even bigger tour with Worrell's death right before it, and so this whole tour for everybody is kind of a memorial to Worrell. Even Iced Earth has taken it on as a memorial to Worrell, and they say it every night, and they talk about, what a powerful vocalist he was in the metal community. It's been very humbling. It's been great that Lenny, the leader of Sanctuary, has kept it going, because he could have just said, you know what, Worrell died, we're done. But he believes, and we all believe this, that the show must go on, right? And, if I pass, I'd want my guys to continue on as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Some bands don't feel that way, though.
No, that's true, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It's, everyone has their own decision they have to make on it, but, they believe that Worrell would have wanted them to carry on, and I'm glad that they did. I'm really glad that they did, because I didn't really know those guys before we headed out on tour, and now we're all sharing a bus, and we're like brothers now. And it's, we had Worrell's birthday just recently, and that was, we've got pictures in our tour bus. Worrell Dane pictures keep showing up as the tour goes along, and we've become really tight with these guys, and I really like it. I'm glad that they did this tour. I really am.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you're on it.
Yeah, me too.
Hopefully we get to see you blow the doors off the House of Blues, man.
Yeah, I can't wait. Tomorrow night is a sold-out show in Anaheim, and at Disney. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited. We've had some really good shows. Sacramento was a great show. For the first time, we had all 5 members up on the stage. We're touring as a 4-piece right now because logistics couldn't work it out to be a 5-piece. But I think Jim is actually, our bass player, is going to be there tomorrow night too. So we'll be running as a 5-piece tomorrow.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's great.
Very cool. The last time I saw you guys was at Malone's in Santa Ana.
Yeah.
That was NAMM.
Ago.
Yeah, a couple of years ago.
Yep.
But the magazine, we follow you.
Mm-hmm.
You and I have been friends a while now, so we talk a lot.
Yes.
And I'm glad that you reached out to us and gave us a shot to interview you guys back when you first started with Steven.
Oh, of course. Of course.
You know what I mean? We appreciate that. We won't forget that.
You're good people, and you've got a great history. And I was worried about you when we were over in Europe, and you had, your heart issues.
I was worried about me.
Yeah, I don't blame you. But you pulled through. You look great.
Yeah, I'm feeling better. I get my energy level kind of comes and goes. Some days I feel really good, and other days I have to kind of realize that I'm human, not superhuman.
I know. We all feel that way.
Yeah, prior to that, I thought I was 20 still.
Yeah. Well, you are here.
Yeah.
How can you not be 20 out here as well? That's how we think, right?
Right. Well, yeah, rock and roll. You know?
I mean, we run into kids all the time when on the road, and we've had kids like when we were in Seattle, we had a kid that he's wearing headphones. He was 2 years old, and then we had a kid in Denver who was like 12 or 13 years old that his parents brought him. So I love seeing the youth there, and they don't recognize us as old guys. They just recognize us as rock and rollers, which is great, which keeps us young,
Right, exactly. And that's what it's all about. People always kind of chastise rock back when I was coming up, the whole Elvis thing, and oh my God, what kind of music is that? And
right.
and over the years, it softened.
Yeah.
People started to get it, that there's more to us than, sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, most bands I know now aren't that we don't do that because we can't survive. You can't survive on the road doing that. It's impossible. You'll die immediately. I mean, we've been on the road for 2 weeks and we're playing almost every night, and we've got another 2.5 weeks to go. So we need our rest. It's like remember the scene in Wayne's World when they meet Alice Cooper backstage. They're so excited to go backstage and meet Alice Cooper, and we're gonna go back there. We're gonna go back there, and we're gonna rock and roll and drink and party. And they walk into Alice, and Alice is watching a documentary.
Right. Drinking water.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hydrate or die.
So what else is going on for the rest of the year? Besides this, I mean, like you said, you had two more weeks left on this tour, and then what?
Yeah. After this, because of this tour, which is great, and because of our tour with Raven in Europe prior to this, we're probably going back out for another U.S. tour in October. With a European band. I can't say their name yet. It's not signed in ink, but we'll be taking off with them in October. So it's pretty cool.
So back home for a while and work on some new stuff. And
yeah, Steven never stops writing. So he's actually working on the 5th album right now. And we got a new drummer. He's 26 years old. His name's Seamus Gleason. He was one of our fans. He saw us play 2 or 3 years ago in Spokane. And now he's on board with us. And he and Steven are already started to write this album. And I wouldn't be surprised if Steven's done with the album before we finish the tour. And then I'll start writing. I'll spend the whole summer probably writing, getting it ready, sending it to the label. Because we've got a 3-record deal now with Dissonance Productions out of the UK. So, we're getting right on that.
So real quick, How do people get your music? What are you on? And how do they find you?
Really easy. It's killritual.com. Our label is Dissonance Productions. You can find us on iTunes. You can find us on all. I think we got a band going on. Basically, any media, just look for Kill Ritual and you'll find us.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you.
I know you want to get going because you've been going for a while.
Yeah, I can't stop.
Yeah.
If I stop, I might not get back up again.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. This is Rockman from BackStage360 with my brother from another mother, Mr. David Reed Watson from Kill Ritual. We're out of here.
Thank you.